Welcome to SFN, your preeminent source for space and defense news and all things tangentially related. We're your hosts, loyal to the foil here at Houston Mission Control, and we've got Alara of Sirius in low Earth orbit. And we're here live every Sunday night.
Space Force News, number 18. What's going on, Space Peeps? I am your host, Alara of Sirius. This is my lovely co-host in Houston Mission Control, loyal to the foil. How's everybody doing this evening?
What up, Space Peeps?
Can I get a 5x5 in the chat if the sound is good to go? And how's everybody doing tonight? It's good to see you guys. Hi, Dawn, Suiterbug, Davis Dog, it's Jonine, Cad Spotter, Mikey B, Lawrence, Rainbow Snuggle Fritz. Oh, we're going to embarrass you tonight. You know what's happening, right? Oh, yeah. That's going to happen. And Karen, it's good to see everybody. Hi, Jeff Demmers. It was great hanging out with you guys earlier. Yeah, we did like an Experiencers Connect. Shout out to Experiencers Connect. That was a awesome, good time talking about all things tangentially weird. So that was fun. How are you, Foil? Hi, Neo. Good to see you. How are you, Foil?
I am good.
How's your week been?
I'm good.
Good?
Great. Christmas was entertaining.
Yeah?
You know, all the kids got motorcycles and my brother got a new gun. It was crazy.
Yeah. She was trying to get me to do MAGA. She was trying to get me to do something illegal.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, she said, let's do MAGA movie night. I was like, we can. It's illegal. She's like, I don't care. Like, Foil?
I don't really care at all.
Can't be doing illegal stuff, man. All right, so we have a sponsor now, Omnia Radiation Balancer.
What?
So we're going to shoot to a quick word from our sponsor before we go ahead and begin the show. Here we are.
Do you want to bring balance to all the wireless radiation fields in your life, including 5G? The Omnia Radiation Balancer is a small sticker you can stick on any device. It changes the state of the field and creates a new resonance between the wireless radiation and your energy field. On the link below, you'll see all our testing results that show how the body responds excellently once you've made this change in your life. Plus, here's a special discount code at the store. Just enter SFN at the checkout. It's easy to bring balance back to your body with the Omnia Radiation Balancer.
Shout out to Tim Saunders. It's good to be part of the Omnia Radiation Balancer team now. Hope you guys liked our commercial segment. Our very first one. That was exciting.
Super snazzy.
Yeah.
Right? Look at that.
Super snazzy. Yeah, I got some balancers. Got them on my phone. Makes life easier for me. I don't have to use my gloves anymore. You remember my gloves, right, Foil? I have Faraday gloves, you guys. Seriously, I do. It's great.
Yep.
So, yeah, should we tell them about the breaking news or what? Should we go?
We have breaking news, people.
Breaking news. Are you guys ready for the breaking news?
Man, hit it. I'm sold.
Okay. So here's the breaking news.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. Investigators say,
all right, guys,
it appears the Nashville bomber believed in aliens.
It was him. It was definitely this guy.
You know, I'll have to give it to Kate.
I'm completely convinced.
Like Kate pointed out in her wonderful tweet. She's been on a rampage lately. You know, whereas I think it's right here, isn't she? She said, oh, I love this. Kate, this is really funny. She said, fascinating. You know who else believes in aliens? Literally everyone. So,
literally everybody.
Yeah. Bravo, Kate. We love that. It was a great response.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice to see the FBI doing top-notch work there.
Right.
Great deductive reasoning there. Must have been him. He believed in aliens. I'm convinced.
Right. You know where they're going to go next with it.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
all you tinfoil hat conspiracy people.
Right.
And just buckle up.
Just to kick the show off right with a little bit of humor like we often like to do. Not that that wasn't really funny. We'll go ahead and start with this here. Let's see here. I think that's the right button. Here we go. All right, just a second. You know, it's going to start playing on its own. Oh, I can rewind it. Okay.
I mean, it's definitely monumental.
This came from the nurse. Okay, so they unveiled a statue. We can't find it, but it was a statue of like a nurse or a doctor with a mask on, and everybody was freaking out on Twitter, like, this is terrible. So, you know, I was just like really upset by this. So of course everybody started making the new cat turd Trumpy dance memes, making fun of the
Alara
statue
is
with the
obsessed with the cat turd Trumpy dance.
I am.
Stuff.
So we're gonna play this one too, because I think this one's great too. So we're gonna play this one. Hold on, this one's good too. Where's the sound?
You found it.
This one doesn't have cat turd.
Thank you. I just love the people at the bottom looking up like.
Swing till we make God.
You watch, people are going to start doing this at MAGA rallies in lines, like a parade. You're going to have like a whole parade of people doing the Trumpy dance in a line with like music and, you know, who knows.
I just like that dude at the bottom with the flowers, like, what the hell?
Right?
Turns back around like.
That's amazing. I have to say, that's just. I hope that meme just goes forever. It's just so good. It really is. It's that good. Okay, so, and we're going to have to do it because it just has to happen. Rainbow Snuggle Fritz.
Rainbow Snuggle Fritz.
Rainbow Snuggle Fritz. So check this out. My family surprised me with a Space Force News shirt. I love it. Selfies are awkward. We can see that, Rainbow. But my kid demanded that I show you. She thinks it's funny when you say my name on Space Force News. What name?
She is right.
Rainbow Snuggle Fritz.
Snuggle Fritz.
Snuggle Fritz, that name. So here's Snuggle Fritz in her Space Force News Space Mouse Super Soldier shirt. Isn't that amazing? Now we can put a face to the name. Isn't that exciting? I think it's super exciting.
I'm stoked.
Oh, Mom's in the house. Hi, Mom. Good to see you. So, yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Rainbow Snuggle Fritz. There she is.
Look at that.
It. We love the shirt. We love the look. We love the facial
expression. You know, she's sitting at home like, oh, my God. Why did they have to do that?
Right. Her kids knew what would happen. Her kids knew. That's why they told her to do it.
They do.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anybody, hi Jira, how you doing? Ari, Chase. Oh, that's like
Neo.
That's a new Chase. I saw Neo. Oh, hi Brad Whitlock. We love our space peeps. We love Sunday nights. Okay, guys. So let's get into it. All right. Should we get into it, Foil? Let's get
into this.
Yeah. So this guy. All right.
This guy.
Mark Hamill has got a problem. Mark Hamill clowns Space Force for copying Marvel, Star Wars, and Star Trek. Somebody needs to cue this guy into the fact that
yeah, like, you are not relevant, bruh.
And he does not anymore. He doesn't understand that, like, you know.
I love Star Wars.
Right. But
you know,
they're not copying those shows. No. Right. They're disclosing those shows.
And even if they were, right, it's okay.
Whatever.
Like, I mean, what would you want to happen? Right.
So this is what Hamill says, like, we really care, but we live in the Xerox of a Xerox age, with even cultural also-rans being rebooted and revived in service of endless content. It makes sense then that such a principle would extend to our government. But one geek culture icon thinks the lifting done by the Space Force has gone too far. Wah, wah, wah. Where's your fake news button, Foil? You never bring it to the show. Oh, my
goodness. You never remind me.
You have got to stop doing that.
This reminds me of Fight Club, where he's like, everything was a copy of a copy of a copy.
Well, it kind of is. It's, you know, it's a holographic.
Nothing new under the sun, man.
All right, Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars films, clowned the newest military. Don't be clowning Space Force, bro.
Right. That was in the 70s,
and
yo.
The commander doesn't say bro, ever. If I say bro, you know, I'm not digging your, what you're doing.
Your vibe.
I'm not digging your vibe. All right, so Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars films, clowned the newest military branch for pilfering its terminology and iconography from Marvel, Star Wars, and Star Trek. We hate to tell you guys, but they pilfered it from the secret space program. So, you know, which came first?
We're not the only ones.
The chicken or the egg? We don't know, right?
Didn't we look at the Roscosmos stuff, or was that on my? I don't even know where that happened.
What is the Roscosmos?
We're not the only. the Russian space agency
Oh.
also has a symbol that looks like the Star Trek thing. And they did it first, so it
Right.
wasn't just us.
Well, it's slowly coming out. You know, we had the quantum. We're going to go over this today. We're going to go over the quantum teleport. Oh, you know what? I forgot the super chats. See? This is why I make lists.
Look at that.
Foil, you say that I'm anal retentive, but this is why. Okay, so first of all, super chat, thank you from the last show, which was with Johan, to Suiterbug and White Hat. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
And then from the last Space Force news, our Cloaked Unseen World, White Hat, Suiterbug, Mark 222, EO2 Dave, and Sarah F. Thank you very much for your support. Yeah, so what was I forgetting? What was I forgetting besides the super chats? There was something. Oh, I never told people what we were going to go into today, which would be Planet 9, right? Mm-hmm. We've got quantum teleportation. Not quite. We don't quite have people being disclosed that they can shoot from. You can't beam them up, Scotty, yet. But we've got we're teleporting qubits, so we're going to cover that. What else are we covering?
R2D2?
Oh yeah, AI R2D2, right?
AI R2D2?
And yeah, there's a couple different quantum topics we'll be going into, but the least of which is quantum teleportation, so it won't be long, friends. We'll be living the Jetsons life if we can ever get disclosure. So
yeah, they're going to teleport our data, our brains, to like robot creations. I'm convinced that's how this will work. It's not going to be like actually teleporting us. Watch.
Well, let's not go into that, Foil, because we have a difference of opinion on the whole teleporting. You know how my belief on it. This is a hologram, and once you understand that on a deep level, you can start changing things in it. So I think it's possible. It's definitely possible. So, you know.
They're gonna
Skynet
our brains.
Yeah, Skynet. I'm not saying that's a good thing. That's not a good thing. But you know, I think there's spiritual technology that people just totally don't understand yet, and you know, just depends on the path you take, right? I have a flip phone.
Well,
I'm resisting.
I agree.
I'm resisting Skynet. How about you? You know, right? No comment, Foil?
We're not gonna go into my personal behaviors.
Okay.
Amazon shopper Alara.
Amazon shopper. Okay. All right. So should we move to I mean, we don't really. Hamill's got a big problem with Space Force. He doesn't like what's going on there. We don't care.
Find something else to cry about, guy. Right.
Right. So yeah, there's worse things in the world, I think. All right. So let's see. Moving on to this. Not all space capabilities should reside in Space Force. The decision the Joint Chiefs reach in the next year will be as seminal for the future development of military space as... Are they making you laugh, or are you just laughing of your own volition, right?
Yeah, I'm just laughing. Okay. No worries.
That's fine. You know, just let me get through a few articles before you make me start laughing uncontrollably.
You slowed down and had to think about it. You were like, seminal?
Yeah,
Should I say that?
I mean, I'm somewhat retarded when it comes to reading and writing now. I didn't used to be that way, but whatever. I'm doing the best I can.
I'm with you.
Yeah, if this curl would get out of my face, I'd be doing even better. So here we are approaching a watershed moment in the future of the U.S. Space Force. Will all space systems be consolidated into the new service, or will the other services retain some capabilities and personnel? The 2021 National Defense Authorization Act requires the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the service chiefs to report on the space-related missions. I can feel you, Foil. You don't even have to say anything. Space-related. I can feel you. I can feel you when you're laughing on the inside, just trying to make me laugh energetically. I can feel it. Okay. Space-related missions and expertise that should remain within each service. The decision that the Joint Chiefs reach in the next year will be a what? What was the word again, Foil?
What? Seminal, yo. Seminal.
At least I can say Bodhisattva now. I can say it now.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
Right. Seminal for the future development of military spaces as any except the actual creation of Space Force. And we are calling Space Force next week. Right, Foil?
Man, we are.
Okay. Good. Because we need to ask them about Eshed. And is that, I hope that's how you pronounce it. We need to ask them about him and what he said. All right, to see what they say, right? Nobody's asked. So we'll ask.
Might as well.
Right.
Yep.
Space Policy Directive 4, which directed the establishment of the United States Space Force, also directed the consolidation of existing forces and authorities for military space activities, as appropriate in order to minimize duplication of effort and eliminate bureaucratic inefficiencies. The as appropriate caveat, I said caveat, that was good, right? Was inserted because the National Space Council recognized that some space functions might have to remain in the other services. While an understanding has largely been reached that the other services should no longer develop or operate satellites, no similar consensus has been reached on other space capabilities or supporting space personnel, particularly the future of space control mission. Space control is an umbrella term for a broad set of warfighting capabilities that are not unique to a single service. It is broadly defined in Joint Publication 3 through 14 as operations to ensure freedom of action for the United States and its allies in space and deny an adversary freedom of action in space. Specifically, space control operations include both offensive and defensive capabilities that create effects in the space domain to support military activities in all domains. While Space Force should be solely responsible for developing capabilities and systems that operate in space, it should not be the only service responsible for developing systems that create effects in space. Interesting. As it develops into a mature warfighting domain, the other services will find it necessary to continue to build and integrate space control systems capable of protecting and enabling forces in their respective domains. The space control missions,
that makes sense.
Right. The space control missions that should be retained by the other services are most analogous. Just say, how long are you going to let me struggle before you save the day? Analogous. She likes it. Yeah.
Analogous.
Mikey likes it. Yeah. Analogous to their air defense mission of the Army. While the Army does not operate
I was going to wait.
aircraft for the purposes of protecting land forces from air attack, it has always retained various air defense systems designed to defend land forces from air threats. Absent its air arm, the Navy also connects the air defense missions from surface vessels in a manner that another service could not replicate. In the same way that these services... Go ahead.
They're going to have to let each of the branches maybe run some of these, space ops, but they're going to have to coordinate with them. Like they should, even if Space Force is not directly in control of, mission specific stuff for the other branches, I mean, they should at least run it through there so that all the information can be amalgamated in one place, and there can be things taken into account, instead of just one branch doing its own thing. So everybody should have to.
Did all the branches at the Air Force and Navy, did that get routed over to Space Force or what? Like, I'm not fully.
Well, now they're still
trying to do this
first.
Right.
The plan at first was to kind of try and consolidate as much as humanly possible. I mean, obviously, like the Army is still going to need to maintain control over things that are necessary to its mission, or at least coordinate with the Space Force. You know what I mean? But like now that they're, now prior to the election, they were trying to consolidate. Now, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, we're seeing a little bit of struggle there. Like, well, maybe we should just keep control of this. Maybe we should
Tyler.
keep control of that. Like,
hi, Tyler. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Blue. Hi, Patricia. It's good to see you guys. Maureen, Tanette.
That was a great interview with Johan, wasn't it?
Thanks. I'm glad you guys liked it. He definitely needs to come back.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
He's definitely got to come back, because he didn't even get to tell his story, and we just went left with all kinds of questions. But yeah, he is so full
there were
of so
many
information.
questions.
Yeah, so super good interview. If you guys are curious about secret space, he knows stuff that blows my mind even, that I'm like, huh? What? You know what I mean? And that's
he's
hard.
very confident.
That's
He's
hard to
all
do.
of his information.
He's well spoken.
Yes, there's no contradictions, no apparent contradictions. Like when he talks, he's able to reference other things, like he ties it all together well.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Johan's fascinating. He's going to have to come back and tell his whole story and then answer more odd questions, because he knows so many things that it's endless, the questions you can ask Johan. Okay, so back
Tyler says the only way to apply for the Space Force is via the Air Force website. Yeah, they're training them at the cadets at the Air Force Academy at the moment too.
Speaking of secret space programs, Tyler Koala's in the house. Tyler is having Secret Space Program Month all month next month on his channel, Journey to Truth. If you haven't checked out Journey to Truth, please go and do so. and subscribe over there. But all month, if you enjoyed Tony Rodriguez, you enjoyed Johan, you're really going to dig the month of January on his channel because it's all going to be SSP disclosure stuff. So yes, please go and do so. All right, so Omnibus spending bill gives Space Force its first separate budget.
Right.
Here we are. Yeah. Up until now, the Air Force had to transfer money from the Air Force to the Space Force for each program line. The massive $2.3 trillion appropriations package Congress passed for the fiscal year 2021 provides $696 billion for the Defense Department, including $15.2 billion for the U.S. Space Force. The bill passed the House and the Senate December 21st and is awaiting President Trump's signature. This is the first defense appropriations bill that has separate funding lines for Space Force operations and maintenance, procurement, and RDT&E, research, development, testing, and evaluation. Space Force military and civilian personnel funding remains in the U.S. Air Force budget. The Space Force is an independent service under the Department of the Air Force. Up until now, the Air Force had to transfer money from the Air Force to the Space Force for each program line, which can be a bureaucratic nightmare. Okay. He said the Space Force has not yet requested a separate military personnel budget. So in total, DOD got what it asked for in what's FY21, Foil? Asked for an FY21.
Fiscal year 21.
Oh, thank you. All right. In terms of creating separate accounts for Space Force funding. The spending bill funds the federal government through September 30th, 2021. Space Force funding includes $2.4 billion for operations and maintenance, $2.3 billion for procurement, and $10.5 billion for RDT&E. Compared to the Pentagon's budget request, Congress slightly reduced Space Force's procurement from $2.4 billion to $2.3 billion, but increased RDT&E from $10.3 billion to $10.5 billion. In the National Security Space Launch Program, Congress cut the procurement request from $1.04. No, that's not $1.04. That's $1.04 billion. What? Yeah, I know, it's kind of weird, right? $1.04 billion to
I was like, what?
$996 million. The reduction was made based on estimated contract savings made in the NSSL Phase 2 launch services procurement, according to congressional justification documents. This could go on for a minute, so let's move on.
Well, here's the thing. Trump hasn't signed that. The Omnibus. That's what we're waiting to see what happens now. And how much you want to bet when we start, people start, hey, we don't need gender programs in Pakistan. They'll be like, okay, well then we can take, this from over here and that. Space Force will be one of the first things that they try and throw a fit about. I bet.
What was this whisper? I saw something about the omnibus bill. I haven't had a time to dig into it and validate it. But what's something I saw about the omnibus bill can be directed? The funds can be directed any which way. That's up to the president's discretion. Is that true or not? Or did I read that wrong or what?
Well, I don't know. It's all very specific. I mean, there's some, if they say there's, 10 million for gender programs in Pakistan. Now, granted, I don't know who the money's going to, but I would imagine that there's some give and take with where that money can go, like how they classify the money to a certain program. But
did you see
if they say there's 10 billion going to employment, I mean, that could be divvied up any number of ways.
Did you see all the shady places they had money going to like the Smithsonian?
Bruh.
Dude.
No, gender equality?
I know. Look, I know.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Statue, gender equality.
Yeah, that speech he gave when he saw that too was just epic. Like, I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? When I saw him give that speech, I was like, thank you.
Dude.
That's why people love
we
you.
got enough problems.
Right.
Man.
So Elon Musk considers combining SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, and Boring under a parent company called X. He really likes these
This sounds interesting.
One letter type.
I told you. I just found out today. Yes, he does.
He really likes that.
I found out today he's investing in all kinds of things at the moment.
SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk suggested, we asked him too about the weird ship. We'll show you guys at the end of the show. So that weird thing in the sky in China that everybody's tripping on, they don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it, nobody even wants to speculate on what it is. Scott from UFO Sightings Daily covered it. We're going to
clearly.
Right. We asked Elon.
Hit the firmament.
Look, we asked.
The Earth is flat. I'm sold now.
We asked Elon, and we're still waiting for a response. So hopefully he'll answer us. If not, then we have to rampantly speculate some more. SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk suggested his support for bringing together all of his companies under a single parent name. In response to a tweet suggesting he form a parent company called X, I wonder who suggested that he formed the parent company called X.
I don't know, but let me tell you something. Google has, I swear it's Google, I think, because I was looking into it at one point, has a company called X that's into all kinds of weird
Great.
stuff.
That's all we need.
Kinds of weird stuff.
Why not?
Genetic
why
creepiness.
Not? Yeah.
When I was writing that genetic warfare stuff.
Musk said he agreed bringing his companies Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and the Boring Company together beneath X was a good idea. Oh, wow. Each of Musk's companies is centered in innovating transportation and its infrastructure, space travel and exploration, and even human-computer interfaces. Musk recently made headlines for divulging that he attempted to sell Tesla to Apple CEO Tim Cook. Tesla is the only one of Musk's companies that is publicly traded. Another tech company, Alphabet Incorporated, was a result of restructuring Google to create a larger umbrella company. Its subsidiaries include Google, Waymo, Sidewalk Labs, and others.
I don't trust this umbrella corporation stuff.
Right? Why don't they just name it Umbrella Corporation, you know?
Right.
Why not give it a spooky name?
Probably because they already have an umbrella corporation. It's already doing all kinds of crazy stuff. That's just my tinfoil
That's what
talking.
they say. So, what? I don't think that's tinfoil. I think the definition of tinfoil is when you come up with some stuff that nobody's already stated or I don't know. I don't really think that's.
I don't think anything. There is anything.
I don't
left
think
to be tinfoil at this point.
No, I think
right?
I think it all is one giant conspiracy. That's, I think it's tinfoil when you don't know that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So anyway,
this year has just been straight confirmation on so many things.
Dude, 2020 has been insane. All right.
Right.
Well, I don't care.
And
so much stuff is happening. There's probably stuff going on right now that I don't even know about because I'm not on Twitter. I'll bet you there's some kind of false flag jumping off. And look at this guy. They're already looking for this guy. They already got his name, right? Wah, wah, wah. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Cleaned it up real nice, like.
Yeah, they already got it
figured out.
They already got his name, and he's into aliens. What is it going to be next?
His remains were there. That's it. Case closed.
Yeah. Let me guess. Where they're going to go with this one.
The Cinco G.
And then we've got the loudspeaker playing the count. Oh, and the weirdest part about it, you guys, if you haven't heard about this, so you got the loudspeaker telling everybody to evacuate, that the bomb's going to go off. Clearly, the bomb did not come from that RV. What?
Right.
Right. Okay. And here's this: if you play the recording backwards that was coming off the loudspeaker,
White Hat.
It says "Merry Christmas to all." And what else does it say? It's crazy.
Look at this. White Hat says bad guys put a bunch of mutant powers into one person, called it Weapon X. Maybe that's where he got it. I would not be surprised, sir.
Thank you, White Hat.
Right.
I don't know what's going on this planet anymore.
Well, did you see there was some speculation that perhaps that announcement was coming from a smart speaker on a lamppost there,
right,
not.
Right. That's fine. And the RV was nothing but a distraction. I'll completely buy that. But it is weird that when you play it backwards, and then they've started removing accounts that post that. And then the original account that posted the video of everything exploding, that account, who even is that account? Natalie brought that up. Natalie Denise. She was like, who is this account? Good question.
No followers.
It just came out of nowhere. Right?
Posted
the whole thing, dude. The whole thing. It's got high strangeness written all over it. It's got setup. It's got a lot of things written all over it. So, So where were we? Why are Russia's nuclear ICBM launchers on combat alert?
Are we there already?
Yeah, we are. We didn't have much SpaceX or
Lord.
Yeah, we were going mostly defense, science, and UFOs today. Yeah.
Usually I get to talk smack for a while before I have to actually pay attention. This is new.
Now I get to look at the chat and actually pay attention. So here we go.
Right. Well, I mean, this is actually kind of interesting. So in the coming year, Russia is now going to be deploying 13 different launchers that have the Yars and the Avangard ICBMs. These are the the Avangard is the hypersonic ICBMs that they have. The Yars have they have multiple warheads that are able to be independently targeted that are shot off of one missile, which is kind of interesting. And some of these things have mobile platforms and some of them are silo based, but they are expanding crazily these weapon systems. And something that I found interesting, there's a quote here from the Russian defense minister where he says, in 2021, the defense ministry will deal with a number of priority rearmament tasks. Now, remember, It hasn't been too long ago that all the talk disarmament, you know, everything was about disarmament. It's interesting that we have these major world powers that see what's going on now, and now it's all about rearmament. You know, but it's crazy. So that they've started placing these things all over the place. You know, could be kind of crazy. Russia's kind of a toss-up right now. I think the results of the election probably have affected how they're viewing potential relationships, definitely with the United States, but also with China. If you go to the next article.
Okay, watch Russian and Chinese bombers fly a rare joint mission over the Pacific.
As I was saying, this is kind of crazy. Russia has now become like, I don't know, it's like on A Christmas Story where the bully, he's got that little hype man kid that goes around and talks smack before the bully beats the kid up. Like, that's what Russia is doing right now. It's like they're the Chinese hype man as far as I'm concerned. And it's kind of crazy. I really, truly believe that this is only because, you know, I'm sure that they're hedging their bets in the fact, you know, in the event that Biden has, you know, gets inaugurated on the 20th, they're going to roll with China.
Right.
It's crazy. They probably wouldn't have done that, or at least not this openly. I mean, so what had happened was about a few weeks ago, the United States had flown some bombers that were kind of close to Chinese airspace. I mean, they went through their, what they call their air defense identification zone, and you know, it ruffled some feathers, right? So now, this week, we have Russia and China flying their stuff through South Korea's air defense identification zone.
Oh my.
Right? Right? Like, oh, look at this. Like, threaten us. Here we go. We'll just threaten your boy over here, right? Flying right through South Korea's ADIZ, which is kind of crazy. They didn't violate the airspace of any other country. Now, what's funny, I mean, Japan mustered fighter jets, and South Korea obviously scrambled fighter jets to escort these planes once they got there, but it was like 20 freaking planes.
So they were flying
right?
super close but not invading.
Like you know,
Japan's
he's touching me, he's touching me, like
right. Roku Islands and overflew Miyako Strait near the island of Okinawa.
Wow. Well, remember we talked, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, where I was talking about how Russia and Japan have this argument about these islands. Right. They have these argument about these islands, northern islands, that, you know, Japan has already been claiming, but Russia has been arguing with them since the Second World War. It's never been a settled issue. So now they're doing flybys on southernmost island, and Russia is with their, you know, Russia's being hype man for China. Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Nutty. That's nutty.
Yeah, I mean, that could be all bad.
Yeah, that could be all bad
at some point. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that could end up being all bad depending on what happens. And we've talked at length on here about the alliances, like how Australia is now teaming up with India and Japan has reached out to India, and all of these regional alliances that are becoming more secured because China is seriously a threat. And over here, you got Biden telling people, they're not an adversary, they're just a competitor. Like, no, bruh. That's not happening.
Davis Dog says they are going after Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Wait, wait a minute. Who's going after Ukraine, Blue? We talking about Russia?
I gotta move this crap off.
We'll comment in the chat.
I cannot see nothing. Right. I cannot move the mic, and it's driving me nuts. Okay, there we go. Much better. All right, so Tyler says foil comment in the chat so he can tag you.
I just did.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the chat. I have completely lost.
I don't know what's
happening in there.
Right. But in any case, the regional
Canadian Seta says, where are we at? So where are we at? Aliens are real, or New World Order are plotting blue beam, false flag, or both? Well, I mean, I think the general consensus is we're not on the blue beam timeline anymore. Most folks feel that we're on a positive timeline where that's not possible. Now, if you ask Foil, she'll tell you it's always possible. I'll tell you that it's possible. Things like that can change. But the real aliens, yes, it appears the Federation at some point, not saying it'll be tomorrow, will, once our consciousness gets to a certain level, will show themselves. Until then, we have to...
I'm not saying everything should be all negative. However, what I am saying is that we're dealing in probabilities. And the smart thing is to be prepared for any eventuality. It is not a negative thing to consider the ramifications of
prepare for the
the
worst.
way certain things might play
but
out.
Prepare for the worst, but believe in the best. Have faith and belief that the best is going to happen, right? That the best is yet to come. So that's
you know me, Jesus got us. We're
Right.
all right. It's gonna be all right. Right? See?
All right. So
all
yeah.
But yeah. So this is kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Iran
So we're
thing?
Iran behind pro-Trump hit list of U.S. election officials, FBI says.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Iran created this website, right? They called it Enemies of the People, and they were putting personal information of, you know,
Oh, man.
people that they were. This is all a psyop, right? This is a mind play. They're trying to get Trump supporters amped up. They put all this personal information about people that allegedly helped to, frazzle the November incident. I want to watch what I'm saying. Oh, algorithm lords. But in any case, you get my idea. They put a bunch of Democrat information up here, trying to rile up Trump supporters to go, kind of as a call to violence. And of course, Iran is saying it wasn't us.
Right.
It was probably them. But they did. They put all that information up there, and I want to remind you guys, especially as we're
Hi, Anita.
going towards January 6th.
What?
Know where you're getting your information from. I saw something else on, when I was doing my monitoring on my favorite Reddit channel, where they were putting information that was clearly not written by somebody who was English as their first language, but it was basically a call to violence. It was probably, we've got people probably from China and from Iran and possibly, other places that are trying to flame the fires for civil discord here because they will benefit from that.
Okay, so are we done with Iran behind pro-Trump hit lists? Are we moving on? Or are we still on that topic?
Yeah, the other one, no, I'm done.
Okay. Right.
Why? You don't want to hear me tell people to be careful?
No.
Alara?
Being careful is always good. I'm just trying to keep track of the articles, Foil. Fighters scrambled after Russia, Chinese military aircraft enter South Korea defense zones. This is along the same topic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know if I thought this was right after the other one. The only thing that I wanted to point out here, going back to the other subject, was that it's interesting because when they fly these joint missions, as they say, they're supposed to give warning to the countries, whoever's airspace or air defense space that they might be flying through. They're supposed to tell them.
Yeah.
Right. China did after that, kind of in the middle of the thing. Hey, this is what we're doing. Russia never said anything, but Russia went on state TV, amping this up, like I said, like a hype man, playing it. Yeah, we told them. We're doing joint ops with China. They're great. Everything's great. Never told South Korea, even though they put it out to their people that they did, which I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. Wonder what's going on there. It's like, I don't know. It's like
I told you,
being prepared for either scenario. You know what I mean?
Well, they hedge their bets. They're smart because China's really, really, I say it all the time. We're underestimating them.
Right.
Russia probably has a better idea, and
clearly,
they're right
clearly,
there.
they've infiltrated into our country to a level that I don't think I certainly didn't believe was possible a few years ago.
Oh, good Lord, they've been at this.
Yeah, they've been at this for a long time. Okay, well, finally, scientists find the oldest sperm in the world. Isn't that exciting, right?
This is a really important story. Feel free to start that off there, Alara.
The oldest sperm sample has been discovered. In a paper published in September, scientists announced their breakthrough discovery describing how hidden in a chunk of amber, it's always hidden in a chunk of amber, right? They uncovered a fossil sperm thought to be 100 million years old, right?
Look at that.
The sperm, the researchers believe, likely belonged to an ostracod. Yeah, it's like an astronaut, but not.
Very good.
An ostracod, right? A subclass of crustaceans, which once thrived in Earth's oceans during the Cretaceous period. Look, I said all that right.
Now, here's my question. If they're in the ocean,
my question is, are these guys doing it? Is that what this picture indicates?
Yeah, they are definitely doing it, man. And it's crazy. Yep, look at them.
They're doing it. They're getting it. Yeah.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is evidence that giant sperm are no extravagant whim? What?
Yeah.
Fossil sperm
the
cells.
sperm are giant for these things.
Oh, they're huge?
Apparently.
Oh, okay. Well.
huge sperm, like 400 times the size of the female. I don't even know how that. I don't. Oh, 4.5 times. Good Lord, but still.
Oh, come on, Foil.
400
right?
times.
Yeah. Get fact checker. Get your facts check. Fact checker. Yeah.
I remember seeing 4, and I just went straight to 400. But still, 4.5 times the length of the female body. How does that even work?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Okay. Fossil sperm cells are notoriously hard to find, owing to the fragility and short lives of the cell. Oh, I can't wait to see the chat. I gotta look over the chat just to see what they do while we're talking about ancient
porn. Yeah. Pretty much.
See, I knew the jokes were coming. We got funny peeps on this show. You know what I mean? So I have to tell. So look, if you see that I'm looking at the article and I'm reading the article, Foil, you got to check the chat, okay? Because sometimes the best stuff comes from them. Yeah. Okay. Amber encased fossils are boon for paleontologists. What? Originally, the sap from trees,
Zombies are next. Terrible.
The fossilized remains would have become trapped in the sticky sap, which eventually formed a glass-like bead around the remains, protecting them and suspending them in time. Hey, how did the sperm get in the amber? Why wasn't it in the bean?
That's what. If they're in the ocean, how did the amber get to the stuff anyway?
It's probably just another conspiracy
Foil.
Everything is a conspiracy on planet Earth. So, thanks to the near-perfect preservation, these paleontologists were able to get a close look at the organisms.
Yep.
That just happened.
I knew this would go well. You know I pick certain articles just because I think it's going to be funny, right?
You count on me to mutilate the words every time, too. So you're like, oh, man. She's going to totally mutilate
Like
this.
I said, why don't you go ahead and start us off with that, Alara?
Woo! Okay.
It's a trap!
All right, so... the organisms... I gotta pull it together first, okay?
It's gonna be all right. Take a deep breath. Oh.
She did that on purpose, you guys. She set me up. All right, you already covered this. We're moving on. We're off the sperm, but we just got to see those two guys doing it again. That's funny.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Oh, man. Woo! I forgot to bring Kleenex in here
Thanks,
today.
White Hat. Look, White Hat sent first deposit for the organism T-shirt.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm crying. I can't even
It's
help.
those Iron Eagles, those astronauts, and those organisms.
The dictorate. The dictorates. Oh, them dictorates. Okay.
Stop!
GK also donated to the organism T-shirts.
GK says second for the organism shirt. Is that going to be a shirt now?
It's a shirt. It's done.
And should we have
nothing you
do
can
we
do.
have those
We
two
gotta
guys
get the
doing
picture
it?
of them
Yes,
bugs.
we got to get the
Yes.
picture of the bubs doing
I'm
it.
all about it.
Put organism.
That'll be perfect.
It'll only be funny to us, but that's what makes it so great.
That's okay. That's okay.
And woo. Okay.
That is hysterical.
You can take this one while I pull it together. All right.
Planet 9.
All right.
Yep.
The solar system may actually have a 9th planet. So is this Nibiru? Right?
With a little amber splatter.
There you go.
Done. I'm done. Okay. Right. I wish this was Nibiru though. All right, come on.
All right.
It's gonna be all right.
Whew.
That was great.
Hey, we haven't laughed
Yep.
like that in a while though. That was gonna happen either way. You know what I mean? That was gonna happen tonight.
No. Ah, excellent.
Okay. The theory of Planet 9 was born January 2015 based purely on mathematical calculations. The evidence
It's still mathematical.
The evidence suggests a Neptune-sized planet orbits our sun in a highly elongated orbit beyond Pluto. Right? That was for you.
We had a 9th planet. They hated it, right?
This hypothetical... Yeah, that took you a minute,
I
didn't
can
it?
see it.
Yeah. This hypothetical planet may have a mass about 10 times that of Earth and orbit about 20 times further than the sun, farther from the sun than Neptune, the 8th and farthest known planet from the sun. I thought there used to be 9 with Pluto. Wouldn't this be number 10?
No,
But then
Pluto
then
was the 9th, but then they kicked him out.
Right, because he was too
You know,
small,
he's just
right?
he's like a planetoid now.
Right.
You know, and now they think they've come up with this mathematical way to prove whether or not there is a planet 9, but it's still all hypothetical. What's crazy is that they're actually trying to use a system that they developed to do work like determining information about black holes, and they'll be able to use that to figure out whether or not planet 9 exists and then whether or not it's a planet or a black hole. Apparently they're gonna, you know, study flares that are emitted when a comet hits like an accretion zone on the black hole. It emits some kind of a spark or a flare, and they'll be able to determine from that.
I was watching videos on black holes all night last night. I really was.
Yeah,
it was fascinating. I mean, it's true. I was. You know?
You know, there are people that argue that black holes... Didn't we cover that on the
black
show?
holes,
Black holes
dark matter.
don't exist.
Yeah, no, that's...
Yeah, that's... Well, there are people... you know...
That was a little
that it's not really a hole where the information all disappears, but that it comes out, you know what I mean, somewhere else is what the argument is now, which actually makes a lot of sense.
We're right there with the whole string theory and, you know, all that stuff. Well, we're kind of...
Oh, Alara, it's not letting me show messages from Mom.
I wonder why that
because
is.
she's trying to put... she's not a mod, she's trying to put a link in there,
She wants her mod status back.
Yeah, give her
all
the
right.
What'd you take the wrench away for?
Because I didn't want her to feel pressured. She got it back.
she's already at work, like, hey.
It's so cute how she works so hard when she comes on here. That's
know.
so mommy-like. I love that, right?
That's
I
great.
love her. She's amazing.
She's
Merry
probably sitting at
Christmas,
home
Mom.
shaking her head at us.
Happy New Year. Don't worry. We're gonna. Yeah,
Right?
she's like, these two
Yes.
are out of control.
Merry
No,
Christmas,
I
Mom.
get it from her.
Right?
No, I get it from her. No lie. Like, she's.
that's great.
When she gets going, I'm not gonna tell him the story about the flower on the table, Mom, but that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, you want to talk about how I do some like airhead stuff? Woo! I get it from her. I'm telling you, that's who I get it from. It's beautiful though. I love that about my mom. Like, you know.
That's great.
Yeah,
Aw.
we both have this aspect where we can be just super ditzy. It's kind of cute because neither of us are blonde, you know? Okay, so where were we?
happens.
Planet 9. This is just going down fast, this
yeah.
show today. Well, it's just, we got to recover this, okay? So, Planet 9, go ahead. I'll let you
I think it's great.
finish out
What are
on
you talking
Planet
about?
9. I'll
I
jump
mean,
in on the next
That's
one.
really they're gonna observe. They're just gonna observe these accretion flares by like objects that are interacting with, you know, with black holes in the outer solar system. They're gonna use that somehow to determine if there's a planet 9, and if there's a planet 9, that it's actually a planet and not some black hole, which I guess theoretically it could be.
It's all coming
They
out,
trick us
man.
with the headline, like
I know.
it's gonna be something super cool, like the 9th planet. You know, then you read
Right,
it and it's
like,
like, oh,
right
it's
there.
math. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how they've
like this one,
slowly.
this is
I like
another
how
one.
they've slowly been trying to tell us that there's life on other planets for like the past couple years. Like, it's really funny. They're like, we found more exoplanets.
Well, they're trying to
and they're in the
Yeah.
Goldilocks zone. And we think we may have found a micro. It's like they're doing everything but saying there's life on other planets, guys. Like, we just don't think you're ready
they have
for
to
us to tell you that.
backtrack also on everything they made fun
So
of us about
stupid.
for the past 50 years.
They
Like,
still make fun of. That's
you
why I
know.
like what Kate said earlier on that tweet, because it's the truth. Like, we all know there's aliens.
right? You know who believes in aliens?
Right?
Everybody.
What's
right?
funny at this point
Every
is that
freaking body.
we're still being lied to about it, is what's funny, right? And they seed us with
Yeah,
this little...
that's well. I don't know that that's funny. That's a freaking.
It's not
crime,
funny to me.
as far as I'm
And
concerned.
it's clearly not funny to Jermaine, you know? So...
yeah, definitely
seriously.
not funny to him.
No.
Archons.
Or Scott, right?
Jeez.
Study sheds
Right.
new light on the properties of quantum entanglement. See, I love this stuff. This is the stuff people need to be studying.
This is another one where
Thank
they
you.
write a super snazzy headline like, "Oh, it might be something good." Basically, all they're saying in here is that they used to think it was only that only two parties could be entangled, right? Only two things could be entangled. Now they figured out
Kind of like our amber
that
encased bugs.
there can be multi-party.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's always
They look pretty
crazy stuff.
entangled.
Now they
Yeah.
know that there can be. They were definitely
They
entangled.
were definitely entangled.
chicka,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your
right?
speech, sir. I apologize.
That's it. I mean, but basically all they're saying is that they've now figured out that there can be multi-particle systems, can also be entangled.
Okay,
which
not
is
only two
interesting.
quantum
I mean, it really is
systems,
interesting.
but multi-particle systems can also be entangled. The multi-party entanglement is known as GHZ state, after physicists Daniel Greenberger, Michael Horn, and Anton Zellinger.
Yep.
Despite the fundamental importance of quantum entanglement in many body systems, our understanding is mostly limited to bipartite situations.
Situations.
All right,
Two-party situations.
This is a rather short article. Yeah. So you about covered it.
Yeah, it is. They use a mathematical technique known as a tensor network, and this thing has geometrical properties that can provide all kinds of different information. And now they figured out that we can have multi-party entanglement, which is interesting because imagine you could, if they're using this to transmit information, right? Like that, that's what when they say teleportation, quantum teleportation. I mean, this is basically what they're talking about is entanglement. Like if one particle is spinning up,
well, let
then
me go to
it'll
that
affect
article.
the other one, right?
Let's go into this article right now then and skip to the other one in a minute, since we're already on the quantum topic, right?
We do, that would make more sense.
Quantum. This is the one clickbait one they gave us, right? With Star Trek guys beaming up. Right.
Star Trek, right? Beam me up. Well, this is different. I think they're using fiber optic cables. What I'm talking about, the quantum teleportation, that stuff like we were just talking about, using entanglement.
Right.
Like you might be able to have one object affect 5 others.
Right.
They didn't think it was going to be that way. Now they know that it can be, which was all I wanted to say about that. You can talk to us about Spock and Scotty here.
Allegedly, the whistleblowers claim that allegedly out in space they use quantum entanglement to communicate. That's how they communicate out there in space. Beyond.
That makes sense.
Beyond the space elevator and the moon spaceship out there in deep space.
That's why I was saying that you were talking about teleporting us places.
Mm-hmm.
What they could do is take a brain scan and send our data to be put into either a 3D bioprinted body or a 3D
I get that. Right.
robotic body.
Right.
Instead of actually sending us, it could go that way too.
Great. Brain mapping. Okay, so back to this. Study finds our galaxy may be full of dead alien civilizations. Here we go. Some more drip
This one's
disclosure.
all you.
Some more drip disclosure.
But they're hating.
A newly published study suggests the Milky Way galaxy could contain alien civilizations, though there's a strong possibility most of them are already dead. Wah, wah, wah. All the aliens died, guys. There's no one to meet. They're all gone. They all passed away.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Researchers from the California Institute of Technology, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and Santiago High School. How did Santiago High School get the deal to work with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory?
Yeah, right? What? I didn't even notice that when I read
How
it the
cool
first
do you
time.
have to be to go to Santiago High School? Like, can I go? I'll go back. Can I get another diploma?
It sounds like there should be a TV series, Santiago.
Are these like a bunch of super
Right.
soldier kids or what? Like, how does that work?
Maybe their intelligence is enhanced genetically.
Right?
Some kind
There's
of
something
weirdness,
weird there, right?
Who
Used an
knows?
expanded version of the famous Drake equation, which determined the odds of extraterrestrial intelligence existing in our galaxy. The study looked at various factors that could presumably lead to a habitable environment and determined intelligent life may have emerged in our galaxy about 8 billion years after it was formed. Some of these civilizations could have been 13,000 light years away from the galactic center, about 12,000 light years closer than Earth, where humans are believed to have emerged 13.5 billion years after the Milky Way was formed. The study, which has yet to be peer-reviewed, also considers factors that may have ended these civilizations, such as exposure to radiation, a halt in evolution, and the tendency for intelligent life to self-annihilate.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a valid
Hey,
point,
you know,
right?
right? Whether it be through climate change, technological advancements, or war. This suggests that any alien civilization...
Like how they throw that climate change in there.
Right, I love how they throw that in there, right?
Right.
Did you hear what Bill Gates was saying today? He's saying he's going to dim our sun. I thought he'd already told us he was going
That's
to dim
from
our
like
sun.
2018. Yeah, he wants to,
Dude's been dimming our
AKA
sun.
what, chemtrails? Like he wants to take metallic particles and spray them into the atmosphere.
This guy has got to go. Look, he's got to go. Okay, and
the
soon.
mosquitoes.
He's got to go.
He's messing with agriculture, the lab meat. Like, dude is nuts.
Yeah, he's got to go. All right, so self-annihilate, whether it be through climate change, technological advancements, or war. This suggests that any alien civilization that are still alive are mostly likely young, i.e. us, right? As self-annihilation...
Or really, really old.
As self-annihilation would presumably occur after a long period, right? Unless, right, you're spacefaring and you get off planet and then annihilate your planet and then you're... So the chances of all these people annihilating themselves, but they didn't get a chance to get anybody off planet before it happened, I would say is slim to none, right?
Well, here's
That's
a
what they're
question.
not talking about, which makes no sense.
What do they say happened to the ancient builder race?
Nobody knows.
That could be an example of a really old civilization maybe that annihilated itself. I don't know. Is it possible?
No, they're all over the universe, and maybe even in multiple universes. They've found their first of all,
I know
their technology is super advanced. It's there's stuff all over Earth, the moon, all over the solar system, right? But
they have the stone tech, yeah?
Right. They've got that tech
Okay.
that's right, the super sophisticated tech that looks like it's nothing, but it's really tech, right? And remember we were theorizing, well, I was theorizing about how this whole, not the time crystals, what was it? Was it the time crystals? And I was thinking you could put, they're obviously putting beings in stasis in a very sophisticated way that's completely different from the way that we're doing it right now, right? And they say that some of these beings, allegedly, that have been found in stasis were found just in like a regular stone-looking sarcophagus. But they're in some kind of tech that's they're like suspended animation, right? So I was theorizing, you know, when we discovered the time crystals thing, that you know, maybe there's some kind of, they're suspending them in time is what I'm thinking. Instead of like how we think of freezing a body, they're suspending the bodies in time somehow.
That would make sense.
Using some sort of technology. Okay.
Space-time bubble maybe or something.
Thank you. Some kind of time bubble where they're able to stop time for that being in that location. You know, I'm just saying. What do you guys think out there? You think I'm, you know, on the right
How would they
track?
How would they Well, I mean, how would they find them then? Like if they're
maybe it's set to wake them up or take them outside of the time bubble at a certain time. Maybe all the giants will wake up at one time. It'll get real interesting on planet Earth. Maybe 2020 is about to get lit. Hey, you think things were good in 2020? Wait till the giants show up in mass, right?
Man,
Fee, fi, fo. We're like, oh no. Me and Fo are like, oh no.
What's that? Titan, the anime.
Right. I know where you're going.
Freaking things eating people. Be all bad.
Seriously.
Not a fan of that, right?
Cedarburg says static time field. What's Cedarburg talking about? Static time field.
The time, suspending them in time.
Yeah, so, is there any more we need to cover in this article? Well, no evidence suggests intelligent life will eventually annihilate themselves. We cannot reschedule a possibility of self-annihilation, the study reads. Yeah. So that's kind of like, right? So they're saying that everybody, I think what they're doing, I mean, maybe is slowly disclosing the fact that there's ruins and artifacts all over the solar system, and they're going to have to eventually tell us about it. So, for some reason, this is part of their narrative that all the ETs
we better
died.
be super scared about the climate change.
Well, if they start showing, look, here's why that article goes along with their narrative, because if they start showing us the ET tech in Antarctica, you know, and the stuff on the moon, and they could still get away at that point with, okay, the aliens are dead. This is their tech. They were here, but they left. They clearly left. They annihilated themselves like most ETs do, but this is their leftover tech. I mean, think about it. It falls right in line with that narrative. So, just saying.
Well, they said NASA was involved, so I can definitely buy that they're trying to spin a story.
So, space elevator Can we get into space without rockets?
Space
I'm a big
elevator.
I'm a big fan of Space Elevator.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, there are crazier options here. This is what I was trying to tell you right before we came on air. I mean, the air to orbit launches, that's the Strata launch. I mean, that's not so crazy. That's the Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen that he wants to use. Like, I don't know if you have ever seen the world's biggest airplane. It's like 2 airplanes with a super long wingspan, and it hikes stuff up so that it doesn't have to push through gravity to launch.
I want to say something about Canadian Citizen said, ancient builder race, raw, law of one. You know, I just want to make this comment. I don't think we know for a fact who the ancient builder race is, right? I think people have different theories that it's this group of beings or it's that group of beings, but I don't think any of us really know for a fact who they are. So, you know, I know that a lot of people speculate that it's the beings that wrote the Law of One, but I think that we also need to stay open to the possibility that maybe we don't know. Maybe nobody really knows who they are. I mean, they seem to be a mystery even to the other ET races. So, just saying, you know, you never know. Okay, so space elevator. You know, I forgot. I should have asked Johan about this, right? About
The space elevator?
Yeah, man. Should have asked him. That's okay. Next
Well,
time.
scroll down past the air to orbit launch. Like, that's what I was just talking about.
Elevated
that
launch
Strata
tube?
Launch. Yes, this is that crazy stuff I was just
Okay.
telling you about.
Let's do
They
it.
patented. They really want to use like a cannon.
Yeah.
Only it's gonna be vacuum sealed and then use like maglev, like hyperloop stuff to speed up a car carrying passengers or whatever stuff into space, and they're gonna shoot it out of this thing at 18,000 miles an hour. No track, no, brakes or nothing. I mean, just shoot it up out of this cannon thing and hope that it just kind of coasts right into orbit there.
Lotus, I kind of tend to agree with you there, right? There's also discrepancies over, look, it clearly states in the Law of One that they're golden beings, that when they were in physical form on the earth, they were golden beings. That doesn't exactly fall in line with certain narratives I've heard. And they also clearly state that they're from Venus, right? So that's why I tend to agree with you that they may not necessarily be the ancient builder race. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Russia did claim Venus. There must be something important there,
right?
remember?
Hey,
You remember that? Russia said
a lot
Venus
of Venus
was their
has
planet.
been a lot of Venus has been in the hey, you know.
The phosphine.
There's been a lot of rumors about a lot of rumors about Venus ever since. I mean, we got what's his name supposedly comes from Venus. What Valiant Thor supposedly is from Venus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the entities in the Law of One supposedly are from Venus, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right? So who knows? Maybe we're gonna find some interesting things about Venus. Okay, so back to the elevated launch tube.
Yeah, they want to shoot people out of like a maglev cannon into space.
And they're supposed to
Just
land right in orbit, huh?
Like a maglev slingshot, like back, just shoot them into space. That's the craziest. There's no way they actually they patented this. This is what I was.
I mean, that
flipping out
sounds.
about right
I
before we
think
came on the show.
I think I'd rather take that thing than a rocket. To be honest with you.
Well, I mean, but no. Can we just stick with space elevator? Like that sounds,
What's wrong with
somewhat safe to me.
maglev's space elevator?
It's not a space elevator. It's shooting you out of a cannon.
Oh, it's
An
cannon.
elevated
right.
launch. Yeah, they're launching you out of a cannon.
Okay. All right.
Right, just kind of like at 18,000 miles an hour, whoop, out into space. No way.
Well, I'm
Now
down
the
with
space
it,
elevator,
but I'm kind of crazy. Yeah.
I'm all for this.
Mom might get mad if I volunteer to get shot out of the cannon into space. I mean, And
that
how
sounds
would
like
we
the
do
biggest
Space Force
evil
News?
Knievel stunt I've ever
Right.
heard of.
I'd be like,
The
fool, I'm up here, and it's round. It's round, friend, it's round. Go tell them it's round.
No, they wouldn't believe anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're looking out of a fisheye lens.
All right, so elevated launch tube, we've got that. Regular
Yeah,
space elevator.
Yeah, this I can dig.
So they were talking about space elevator in like the 80s, you guys. This is why I have like
Yeah.
And look, if they can cloak the ships, who says they can't cloak space elevator? Maybe there are
Maybe.
I'm not saying
Who
there is,
knows?
but maybe there are space elevators all over the place, and we just can't see them because they're cloaked, just like the ships.
I mean, this seems like a sound. It's not. You're not just shooting somebody out of a cannon. They've got a geosynchronous platform. It stays in line with the Earth as it rotates, and there's some tracks and rails, and probably has brakes and stuff. I'm all about brakes.
Yeah, brakes
like,
are
good
cool.
Lord.
Yeah.
That sounds
brakes are
great.
cool.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
but once you kind of
been...
once you get in orbit, you're good. You just kind of, I don't know. You ever watch that movie Gravity though? When stuff went south.
Yeah, I'm saying, right.
When
I'm
stuff
saying, like,
goes
what if
south
they
in
shoot
space,
you out
it's all bad.
and you just miss your target and you just keep
and then
on
you're just
going
flying
forever?
and
No.
you're like, no, I'm gonna run out of oxygen and die in space. Yeah, it's
Right.
terrible situation.
Then what? No, ma'am, I'm
No.
good.
Yeah.
Space elevator, that's
way.
the way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what do we have left to cover beyond space elevator? What do you guys think? Do you think there's space elevators out there? I think there's space elevators out there, but
I know. I thought they had. I
What do
thought
I
they
not
were
believe
planning
is out
on
there?
starting one in Arizona, dude. I remember reading about that. a while
Hey,
ago.
we don't just have a new thing to tell Trump to decloak the ships, decloak the space elevators. That's our new one
Right.
now. I'm
We
gonna
know
hashtag
it's out
that.
here.
Yeah, I'm already
Right.
shadow banned though. Hashtagging things just won't get me anywhere. But anybody else, feel free to hashtag decloak the space elevators. We'll see if it goes anywhere. All right, the Air Force's secret new fighter jet will come with an R2D2.
Yes. Now you think it would be some?
R2D2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it'd be some kind of cool little robot thing? No, it's an AI that it's gonna control certain critical things on the plane. I don't trust it.
Right.
Like,
it's
don't
gonna
trust it.
actually control
Yeah, it's an artificial intelligence co-pilot. It's just it's a computer algorithm.
Yeah, but can you take over from it? Can you like fire it?
I don't know.
Can it be
What
like
if it
you're fired
decides-
and take over?
What if it decides that it doesn't want you to take over? What if it's like FTS? I'm running this show.
And it just like hacks in to make sure you can't get in and shut it down?
Never trust Skynet, man.
Right.
You know my mantra. I don't trust any of it. This is one
sounds
of the
cool.
first systems that has that they're giving over this modicum of control to. Like, without, I mean,
Is
it
this
can
supposed-
function without humans.
Is this supposed to be like you and AI R2D2 high-fiving each other? Is that why they threw this in here? Is that
Yeah,
what
probably
that
look-
is supposed to represent?
Right.
Right.
Well, no, they're talking about badass planes. I mean, I suppose it is a badass plane. I mean, to be fair, it's like super stealth, like artificial intelligence, R2D2 co-pilot. Probably the pilot just goes up there and chills. It does all the work, but this is on the new plane that they were able to build, and they conceptualized it, built it, and then constructed it and tested it within a year using all of these new methods.
Yeah, I'd say that's
I know.
disclosure friend.
Allegedly.
Right. That's not building something from the ground up.
But
clearly.
normally,
Mhm.
right, I get that. But normally when they start talking about build, it takes them years. They draw up some schematics, they argue about it. Maybe they try to build something, they got to test it forever. Like, they did this within a year. Their 6th generation air dominance. What is it? Next generation air dominance fighter.
Spotter said HAL 9000. Kinda.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or
We're
what
looking
was
at
the
HAL.
one on Interstellar? Was it Interstellar?
That
We had the
was
cool kind of like
TARS.
snarky.
TARS.
Yeah, a little snarky.
Yeah, I liked TARS.
Bro, I was a fan of that dude.
But could TARS
right?
take over the ship and because clearly we had the human pilot, right? So TARS couldn't just take over the ship. But didn't he fly a couple ships? Didn't we see him fly?
Yeah, TARS was
TARS
running the
was a
show
good
in
guy though,
certain
remember?
places, like,
TARS
yeah, he was
He was
cool.
all good. They even shot him into the black hole and it was sad and
Yeah, he was.
nobody knew
right.
it was going to happen and then everything worked out kind of.
We should watch that again.
I love that movie. It's my
It was a really
soundtrack
good
for
movie,
my
right?
interviews on Wednesday nights. I love that movie. It's very
Right.
touching, right? And that's kind of the first movie too that kind of expands your consciousness beyond like I know there's
This
a
is
lot
really
of
deep movie.
there's a
I
lot
thought it was
yeah there's
really
a
well
lot of
done.
concepts in it that are trying to stretch one's imagination of what's possible. And I think that the stuff they talk about love is very profound because I think
Oh
you know,
yeah, that it's its own force.
it's its own
in the-
force
that
that we
it-
don't
yeah,
understand.
It's its own force.
Yeah, literally. And I
But
think
it can. Oh, thanks, Suiterbug. But it can supersede all of the other forces. I
Right.
agree with that.
yeah, all you need is love, guys. That's all you need.
What does
Love.
he say? Suiterbug says we won't need an elevator. I would expect that they are typically only used on mining operations where they have a steady stream of minerals loading cargo holds. I mean, that would make sense.
So
I'm
what,
just trying to
Sooterbug,
be
you think
safe
they're only
about
going
it,
to
you know?
shoot stuff in there and they're not going to shoot people with the space slingshot? Is that...
No, he's talking about the elevator.
Right.
The space elevator that they're used on mining. Yeah, I'm not riding on the space cannon. Like, I don't trust it. I don't trust any of it.
I mean, I know. I think a UFO might be a cooler way to travel, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, for real, just decloak the ships. It's so much simpler. All this stuff. But that's it.
Daddy D says
R2D2.
we don't want a David from Prometheus going on though. Yeah, he's right. That was all bad.
That movie's a trip.
Yeah,
right?
That dude was all bad.
Woo!
Okay, so next we're actually, guys, we're moving straight into the disclosure high strangeness segment of the show.
Woohoo.
So foil Nostradamus 2021 predictions, asteroid and end to all world predicted in horror forecast. This is light and cheery. Thank God we're doing this, right? Thank you, Sooterbug.
You know me. I love weird stuff. Super depressing stuff. No, I don't. Nostradamus, I mean, he got a lot of stuff right, you know, allegedly. Hitler, whatever else. I'm sure you guys are familiar. He was a French astrologer. He wrote a bajillion predictions in like the 1500s, and for whatever reason they seem to be coming true. But apparently for 2021,
oh no, what's he saying for 2021?
Yeah, this is the only reason I thought, you know, we had such an exciting year this year that we should look at the terror that awaits us in 2021. Right. Yeah, particularly gloomy. He hints that there may be an asteroid strike. He wrote, in the sky,
that's great.
One sees fire and a long trail of sparks.
Hey, speaking of fire and a long trail of sparks, look, we're going to show one of the videos, the one that Scott covered today, which is the one in China that's...
Oh, the other one.
China that's super weird. But look, there's been some more weirdness. I saw some weirdness today. I don't really know what it is. I'm not saying it's aliens, okay? But it is weird. And
do I get to tell you about the other prediction that is kind of weird that he was dead on about?
Yeah, I just want to show him, since we're on the topic of fiery things in the sky. I just want to show him this real quick. So this just came across my feed. I don't know what this is here, but
that's got to be an asteroid or something coming down.
I mean, it's not a rocket. It's not a...
No, but it's
look,
something like burning up on re-entry.
Yeah, but what's that little... I don't know.
The solid mass looking in the middle?
I don't know what it is. I mean, clearly it's something that got burned up re-entering the atmosphere, but I really can't figure out... I mean, you really think... I mean, yeah, I guess it could be an asteroid, right?
Yeah, I mean... It must have been kind of big to be able to make it through.
There's been a lot of weird, strange, fiery type objects in the sky lately.
Fire in the sky,
yeah,
man.
I mean, there's been a lot of them.
Well, we're going. We've had a lot of. Aren't we going into some kind of a debris field or space debris field? Or
something? It's not like debris as in that kind of debris. It's like a cloud of,
gas and stuff.
It's like a gas cloud.
I mean,
right.
I think there's. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man.
All right,
Asteroids.
So Nostradamus. So what do we got? We got supposedly we got. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the other prediction he made for this year is soldiers with microchips implanted into their brain being introduced into world armies. How on was this guy?
Well, we just covered that last week, guys. The super soldiers, and they're trying to chip us all.
Ain't that crazy?
Clearly, we're headed there.
Yeah, I mean, this guy.
What else is he talking about for 2021? We can,
Oh, I don't know. I just clicked it off. I thought you'd want to move on.
No,
now.
it's on. I have it up. Let me make sure
we're
not missing.
Advanced technologies, world military personnel. Well, they're talking about that. Strange claims, the advent of biologically and digitally enhanced soldiers in the PLA, and France, obviously. Oh, those are the only three they list.
That's crazy, that
though, right?
super soldier one is pretty dead on, though. That's crazy, because that's really
crazy.
starting to come out in the mainstream
Imagine
press.
trying to think about those things in like 1550. You have no idea. You're getting these weird visions.
I know.
Yeah, it's like the Book of Revelation, like John trying to write down like the mark of the beast. People think it's just like, imagine seeing that stuff in, 308 or 30 AD or whatever. You're trying to imagine what you just saw. Like, I don't know what that was.
Tanette thinks it looks like a rocket. I'm more inclined to think it's something that burned up in the atmosphere, like an asteroid or
It could be space debris. You know, China, they have issues with
It looks kind of
there's
square.
stuff falling out of the sky. You know, it could have been a satellite maybe
Wow.
that they built and it was falling down, re-entering.
All right, so what do we got
knows?
here? Okay, so Foil picked this out courtesy of Mr. MPB333. We got some kind of weirdness in the sky here.
Is this one of the ones where I have the times next to it so you know where to go?
Massive rectangle craft in sky seen sending light beams into the ocean.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
This is in Puerto Rico. Sorry, let me make it big.
This was nuts.
Okay, here we go.
You got the time on that? I put it down.
Yeah, I got it set to the
Okay.
first time. I got to look for the
There you
second
go.
time. I got it written down.
I think you can just let it play from there if that's the
And
first
we're
time
gonna
I
go to this
play.
video that was shared with me by Glorima, and you can kind of see here what looks like a long rectangle
it's
in the
shooting
sky.
stuff into the sky.
And then
There
this
you go.
beam coming down
This
underneath
coming
it. Some
down
sort
here.
of a weird light beam sending pulses down into the ocean, as it too was out over the ocean, visible from San Juan. Here's the video taken by Marisol V.
I mean, that's weird. Did you see that?
In 6:45
That's
a.m.
nuts,
from
dude.
San Juan, Puerto Rico. And this was back on November the 30th.
What
See
is
the
that?
It makes
light
me think of
pulses right
freaking
here?
War of the Worlds,
You're
where
going to
they're
see this is
sending the
first video
aliens down
segment.
in
This
the
is
light
first one.
beams.
Yeah.
The second
Or the
one, you're
lightning
gonna be
or
able
whatever
to
it
see
was.
very clearly a rectangle object.
Yeah, that's
up in the
clearly a
sky.
cloaked something
It's
up there
behind
doing
that
something.
building from this field of view, but it's way out over the ocean, and you're going to see these pulses of light.
Yeah, it does. That
come
reminds
down
me of
from
War
the
of the Worlds.
sky into
Teresa
the
says
ocean.
that was a large
Notice the
meteorite in
craft
China.
up
They
here, you're gonna
found
see
it.
right there.
See?
And then there's a pulse of light right there.
Look at
Here's
that.
Look
to
at that
me to
shit.
be
That's
coming
so
from.
weird,
There's
man.
the rectangle. See
It is a ship.
Kind of hard to miss in this segment. And you're going to see pulses of light go down into, or at least in the direction of, the ocean.
I mean, that's
See
just
that right there? There's
That's
another
crazy.
one. There's another one.
it's shooting
Another
something
one
down
coming up
into the
right
ocean.
there.
For sure.
And then it kind of goes
Now,
back
here's my
up.
question. Is that ETs or is it us? You know, if
I
it's
don't
us,
know.
I'm a little concerned, right? If it's ETs, who knows, right? But if it's us, what are we doing? I mean, why do we have a cloaked ship shooting something into the ocean? I mean, that's a little concerning.
Super weird video here. But to me, that is totally obvious. Some sort of a very long, large rectangle craft sending pulses of light down into the ocean.
Super weird, man. Okay, so what's the other timestamp on it? So it's what?
Is that the same one or is this a different video?
Oh yeah,
I
it's,
don't
no,
remember.
this is the different one. I got to go to 343, but this is, I mean, this is weird,
You
man.
can kind of see it moving there just a little bit. Here it is in a inverted format. Light is dark and dark is light, and you can still see the light pulses going down, and then at times going back up. In
Oh,
the
it's going
direction
up and
of the
down. Oh,
ship.
that's so creepy. That is so War of the Worlds, dude. Whoa.
Right.
That is so creepy, you guys, right? Jeff Demmer says that is ET. He thinks that's an ET ship doing that. You know, that's crazy when you feel safer with the ETs. You're like, oh, well, let's hope it's ETs and not us, because if it's us, it's
I
probably all
told you
bad.
my theory on the ETs that are here. Johan seems to agree.
Yeah. So, all right. So the second one here we have is
I think this is also MB333.
this is
I love his
all
channel.
all our videos are from him today. Okay, so this is set to 341, which is the first time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this right here.
Oh yeah, there's two on here.
Yeah.
Kind of like the next video coming up by Julia T of what she was describing as a Merkaba.
Oh, that's a nice
She said it looked
Merkaba
like a
ship.
spinning, colorful
Yeah.
cube. And that is indeed what it
How
looks
come I
like.
can't see
Guys,
it?
I'm not claiming
Oh,
to
'cause
know
I'm
what
not
these
showing
things
you.
are. These are videos and photos that have been
Whoops,
shared with
sorry,
me,
guys.
And I'm simply
I love how you
sharing
just
them
wanna
with
watch
you.
the video.
That does
Right.
look like a spinning, colorful
If you
cube.
hit
There's no
pause,
other
like
way
I
to
was hitting
describe it.
pause, you
Have I
can
seen
see it.
things like it? Yes, I have. I've had
Look at that.
just a little bit. You can see some purple and blue and green, kind of like secondary light there. This is the light they stayed focused on, and it
That's not the
too
Merkaba,
is
that's
moving
something
to
else.
the sky at a pretty
He had a whole
good
bunch
Okay,
of.
here's the
Julia
Merkaba.
T of what she was describing as a Merkaba. She said it looked like a spinning, colorful cube, and that is indeed what
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
what they look like.
Guys, I'm not claiming to know what these things are. These are videos
Like you can catch it.
Yeah.
That's
I'm trying
crazy.
to
Photos.
catch it, the geometry.
that have been shared
If they move so fast, it's almost impossible to catch.
with me, and I'm simply
Wild, huh?
sharing
crazy,
them with
right?
I almost caught it there.
you. That does look
So cool.
like a spinning,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to do
colorful
that.
cube. There's no
You can
So
almost
cool.
see.
Look at it.
You can almost see the
Have
yeah.
I
You
seen
can
things
almost see the design
like
on
it?
that.
Yes, I have.
So cool.
I've had other people share
Yeah, you can see it. Oh, you can see it there for a
videos
second.
almost
That's crazy.
identical to this one right here you're seeing.
Oh,
Different
oh, did you see that? I almost caught it a couple times.
location, but again, I don't
Thank you, Spears. I think that's right.
know what this is.
Spears.
It's just one of those that's
Elon.
Okay, so
He says FE Clock David Weiss app is worth a download. I've never seen that.
FE Clock David Weiss app. Oh, we're gonna have to check that out. Okay, so we're supposed to move to 417. This Merca Pro is fascinating though. Okay, so let's see. Where's
Yeah, I think it comes right after that. You can probably just let
it does.
play.
Okay, here we go.
simply too good not to share.
Look at that. You could totally see the geometry.
This
That's
next
so
video
wild.
was sent in by Marie out of Tamarack, Florida. This is in South Florida, near
Is
the
this the
Miami
ring?
area, and she noticed some
don't
sort of
remember.
a
Oh, yeah, this
weird
ring
was
ring
wild,
in the
dude.
nighttime sky. So she zoomed
Look at
in
this,
on
guys.
it, and it kind of went out of focus.
What is that? Look.
She actually did a really
Whoa, look at that. What is that?
That's nuts, right? I don't know.
What is that?
I think he gets some stills of it at
Look.
some
good
point.
job recording this thing.
Oh, it gets bigger.
Whatever
Look.
it was.
Whoa, look at all those lights. What is
That's
that?
nuts. I don't know.
This was in
You're supposed
August
to know. This is
of
your
2020,
area,
so
dude.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on.
This isn't some sort of a Christmas wreath or anything like
Whoa.
that. She was zooming in on it there, kind of went
Whoa.
out of focus. I counted the lights, and there's two rings. There's one larger than the other, one overlaps the other, and a grand total of 42 lights.
Are we sure that's not a reflection?
Yes. He does. He verifies his videos. I mean, he verifies his videos.
Makeup
100%.
Alright, well, let's
is
keep
very
watching.
strange. What looks like a donut, a lit up donut in the sky.
Look at that.
See it right there?
Wow.
I don't know how far away it was. I would say that's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, if I had to guess, maybe 30, 40 feet in diameter. It was probably 1,000 feet or so off of the ground.
Wow.
Again, in the nighttime sky. I think this was out over the ocean from the
Nice.
Miami, Florida area. That's where this is from South Florida. And
42
lights
total lights.
make up this big ring in the sky. And
Wow. Pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that is pretty crazy. Our Cloaked Unseen World, my Merkaba video is 100 times better and more clear. Well, we're gonna have to play Unseen World's
Yeah,
Merkaba
shoot
video.
Shoot it over to us.
Is that
And
you?
thank you for the super chat.
Thank you very much. Is that you traveling around in your Merkaba, or did you catch somebody?
Right.
Merkaba shit? I mean, I'm curious.
Right.
If you're that, far
If it's
along
you,
in
just
the
tell us. We
spiritual
won't
path,
tell anybody.
Right. Then
Right.
we're gonna need to know because I'm gonna need some lessons. All right. So what do we have left here? We've got so I wanted to play this. So this came up in the interview with Johan. We were talking about how the news reacted to Eshem. So Eshem is the Space Israeli head guy that came out. The Space Israeli head guy. That was an interesting use of words there. Anyway, is head of space is okay. Just foil.
The guy that was in charge of the Israeli space
Thank you.
defense
Right.
folks.
Okay, so this
right?
this
That
was
guy.
literally the mainstream media's reaction to this article that came out in the Jerusalem Post. Okay, so I thought that was interesting that I'd share it with you guys because, well, it says a lot. Just like occurred to me in the middle of that interview when he said that, I was like, yeah, it says everything. So check this out.
About it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper,
Can
he
we
said
see it? I can't see it.
aliens have been waiting until today for
Oh,
humanity
man, I gotta
to
quit
develop
doing
and
that.
reach a stage where we will understand
I gotta stop doing that.
knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years. Not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their...
They're called the Galactic Federation of Angels, not aliens, buddy. Catch up.
...secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
Look, that experiments part is the only part about that whole thing that concerns me, because the I don't think the angelics are concerned with doing experiments. So maybe that was a little bit of miswording, or maybe he has the other ETs, the not so benevolent ones, mixed in with those guys.
Think
I don't know.
They're all the same.
That they probably do, and I'm leaving that to the human interpretation that he's a human, you know, and he's up to his looking through his own, right? He's got his own understandings, but that's the only part about it that makes me go kind of what? Okay, so
now this former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now, and he said all this in an interview with.
You see the way they're acting? Well, he was very well. They don't know how to handle this. They're like, well, he was very well respected. Well, at least until now. So just, I think this says a lot.
Full on mocking.
This says a lot. Like, just the way this whole thing plays out. Like, I'll stop interrupting. This says a lot, right? Look.
An Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing to lose.
Right, and now you're covering it. So, I mean, hence why he came out now, because the mainstream media is actually covering it and stuff. And so check this out. So you'd think normally in the olden days, they'd have been like, this is hilarious. Right. Oh, they made some jokes and stuff. But look, they don't do that. Look at this.
Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the U.S.
So instead of making a mockery of this, they're actually validating the story a little bit. Well, he didn't tweet about this, but remember, guys, he did sped up the Space Force about a year ago. So...
armed forces. Well, we did ask the White House, the Department of Defense, and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded to the NBC News request. And I wonder if they ever will. Alison.
Nope.
See? And that's it. Right? Totally different energy than there used to be with the mainstream. It used to be a laughing stock. Now it's, well, we haven't heard from Trump yet, but this is what the guy says, and we can't really argue with it. And the Space Force
had a lady in a muumuu in a trailer park.
Right, and the Space Force was created a year ago, so we don't know. And then that was it.
Right.
Boom. That was the end of it. So that really does. That speaks.
I mean, like
volumes.
I said, this is like Paul Hellyer. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can mock the guy, I guess, but I mean, these are not. This isn't, Sandra at Twin Peaks Trailer Park. This is a respected dude. Like.
All right, so here we got the last UFO video before we do space.
Oh, is this the one that came across today? I didn't know. I didn't put the time on here.
Yeah, you didn't put the time, so I don't know what time we're supposed to be on.
I came across this right at the.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going to Colorado Springs. You're looking at a still image of a video that was shared with me by Talon's Claw of a unique object flying through the midnight sky. And that is a still image of the video that we're going to take a look at up in Colorado Springs, Colorado from December 23rd of 2020. We're also going to Hudson Valley, New York, take a look at some daytime objects.
All right, that's cool, but we got to show them the video that Scott put out of the tweet that we can't find, the weird video in China. So let me go get that video right quick.
Oh yeah, and our Cloaked Unseen World said he set the Merkaba as the spotlight video on his channel.
On the
or her channel.
Oh,
his
okay.
Channel.
Okay. Let me see. UFO sightings daily. Let me grab this real quick.
Is this the one with the firmament?
Yeah, this is the
Flat
firmament.
Earthers
I don't
have
know
been
why
having
you
a
call
field
it
day
the
with this.
firmament one, but okay.
Because the Flat Earthers
right,
have been
on.
using this.
So this just
as
came out on
evidence.
Twitter, and Scott just made a video with this in it. We can't find the original tweet that it came from. So check this out, you guys. I really don't even know what this is. That's why we asked Elon what it is, but Elon ain't responded, so who knows if he ever will.
will.
Kind of like
Right.
Trump responding to Eshem and the aliens. We don't know if that'll ever happen. So here we go.
I think Donald Warren had this first.
Yeah, J-Rod says the ET subject is taken seriously now because of the release of the Tech videos. It's true. And it's crazy that it took that for it to get validated. Like all these hundreds of thousands of, what is it, even in the millions of people now and their experiences and their tapes.
All the videos that are posted every
and that
day.
wasn't valid. But because a bunch of government dudes came out and said that it actually released one with their job title, that now it's okay. It's okay to talk about it and not laugh. It's ridiculous. Anyways, check this out. It hasn't even begun to get weird yet, guys.
I mean, it just disappears, and then what?
And then it like
Comes back, like I don't know.
and then
go
it
behind
just
the
does a
clouds.
bunch
The
of
whole thing
crazy
is
stuff.
weird.
It's weird.
I mean, is it supposed to be a rocket launch that went awry? Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's what one would think, but it does some super weird stuff, man. Like, what is that?
I don't know.
Look at, and they're coming off at different ends. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Look at that. How weird is that?
Well, I was just talking about the Russian missiles that had the multiple warheads that can be targeted independently to all go do different things.
Yeah, but
I mean, if we're just
But come
theorizing
on,
here, I don't know. I mean, look at that.
yeah, like what was that?
I don't know.
And what is that? Now this one's gonna take off and do some stuff. Oh look, it's making a spiral. Oh my. Now that makes me think it might be some rocket weirdness, but still.
Are we believing the guy with the props now? I don't know.
There is a big difference
crazy.
between that and the Norway spiral. Sorry. So don't
Yes,
anybody
I
coming
agree.
at me with the Norway spiral was a rocket. No, it wasn't. So.
I agree.
But what's going on
Flat
here?
Earthers
I don't know.
say that it hit the firmament. It couldn't go any higher, and I don't know what the hell that is.
I mean, what's happening here? I mean, I could buy that it's some rocket weirdness. I could. Rockets do weird stuff, especially when they're in early phases and not built properly and being tested, right? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, why would they launch it over a city?
Jeffrey says, here's another one worth taking a look at. It is not letting me, it's not letting me
yeah,
show
you can't
that.
post a...
Right, so maybe you could just link it in the description below when the show's over, Jeffrey, because it's not letting me actually post it in the chat.
Go to our Cloaked Unseen Worlds channel.
Okay.
And pull his video. It's pinned.
Okay, so, but that's
We
super
see you.
weird, right?
Thank you for the super chats.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our Cloaked Unseen World. We're going to completely not get space weather tonight, but that's all right. Okay.
That's all right.
Okay. I wonder if it'll pop up. Hold on. Okay, our Cloaked. I mean, you can talk while I'm doing this, you know?
Oh, my bad. I'm watching you. All right.
Making
Emergency
me feel under the
escape
spot.
pods.
I might just mess
I don't
everything
know.
up.
Maybe.
Okay, here's our Cloaked
Yeah,
Unseen World.
Sooterbug, I agree. It was a portal in Norway.
It's the video at the top, right? What do you call that? It says two heaven orbs, drones, UFOs, Tesla quote. It doesn't say Merkaba. Is that the one?
Is that the one?
Cloaked Unseen? You got to tell me which video it is, because I'm looking. I'm gonna click on your videos.
He said it's the profile video or the.
So it's the one on your homepage at the very top. At what timestamp?
I have no idea. Click on it, see what happens. Until he lets us know. Emergency escape pods, maybe. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Merkava part.
Somebody else said is SpaceX launch. Our cloak says where'd it go?
Ask him how.
Merkava huge glowing object recorded recently.
He's gonna have to tell me
He
the
said it's
timestamp.
right at the start. Right at the start. Do you see it? Merkava huge glowing object recorded recently.
No. You can't see it. I don't know.
We're trying.
Yeah, I don't. Let me just go through it later, and we'll take a look at it next week.
Yeah, we can pull it for next week.
I can't seem to find it. Okay, so what
Do you want to do
left
your
here?
space weather thing?
Well, yeah, we'll show the Schumann real quick. There's not really a whole lot to go over it. So
There were some whiteouts the other day. I thought.
He said that's not it. Yeah, I think I'm looking at the wrong video because I'm not seeing what he was saying was there. So we'll get together about that this week and figure out what's going on. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we'll pull it for next week.
So look at this though. The Schumann's right.
it's super quiet.
Yeah, it's super quiet, but super weird pattern going on here. That's different. You know, it's kind of staying mellow between 12 and 16, but the pattern on it is really different. I don't know what's going on there. It's very, very different. Okay, and as far as space weather, let's see what's going on with the space weather. B1, B3, solar flares, nothing really to speak. Solar wind incoming. A stream of solar wind is heading for Earth. Estimated time of arrival, December 29th. The minor jet of gas flowing from a small hole in the sun's atmosphere might be enough to spark the last auroras of 2020 around the Arctic Circle. So, yeah, there doesn't really seem to be any space weather that's too exciting. I hope you guys had a good conjunction. I hope that was interesting. I would say the sky definitely lit up in some marvelous, bright, awesome colors here the next morning. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really get to see it in a way that people could see it on other parts of the planet. So, anyhow, okay. So, anywho, all right. So, let's see. I covered this earlier. Yeah, well, I covered this earlier. Definitely go and check out Journey to Truth for their Secret Space Program month. That will be the whole month of January. And like and subscribe over there if you are new. I will have Harold Katz on with me. He used to be known as Harold Katz Vela. Now it's Harold Katz. He will be on with me Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for a live interview. We will be talking unified field theory, densities and dimensions, consciousness, and probably a few other subjects that he's knowledgeable on. He is a wealth of knowledge, you guys, and an amazing guy. So I don't know if you guys have seen
some great interviews.
He did an interview recently on Age of Truth TV, which is one of my favorite channels. He did a great job with Lucas. Everybody knows I love Lucas. I love Age of Truth TV. Shout out Lucas Alexander. And his partner's name, I don't know his name. It's a European name. I don't know it. Maybe I need to learn that. It's terrible. Okay. And I'm not going to announce what it is, but I do have a surprise interview, a surprise show coming out on New Year's Day. So definitely look for that.
You want to see this.
Yeah. I hope you guys like it. I think that you will like it. And it'll be out. This curl just won't move. It's just determined to stay there. So anyway, that will be out on New Year's Day, and I hope it kind of kicks the year off in a right direction. And I'm very excited about that. So with that, Loyal to the Foils channel, guys, if you haven't been there, she's super shadow banned. You got to type in the whole thing, but it is linked in the description below, her social media accounts and her YouTube channel. Go and check out Foil.
I just posted something about Adam, about the Adam Schiff allegations. Please do go check that out.
Right. So yeah, go and check out Foil's channel. like and subscribe over there if you've never been there. She does awesome guerrilla style videos with different topics and goes down deep dives into various wonderful rabbit holes. I think that about covers it, except I want to say thank you to the mods for working so hard. You guys are amazing. Thank you to those that super chat.
Awesome.
Thank you to all you guys for your love and your support. We love hanging out on Sunday nights here.
Thanks,
with you.
Alara's mom.
Yeah, and thank you, Mom, for being here. Okay, so I think that I'm done with my spiel and we can close out the show.
That's it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. We need, follow us on Twitter. The links are in the description below. Obviously, you can also donate to Space Force News Live at either loyaltothefoil.com. If you do, just specify that it's for Space Force News. Also in the description below, you can meet us. We got merch. Check out our merch. You can also meet us here next Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for another awesome episode of Space Force News Live. Keep your eyes on the skies, people, and stay loyal.
We are your news in this dimension and the next. We love you guys. Have a good night. See you next week. What is she laughing about?